Hey guys, Mr. V here bringing you another MP news update. Battlefield 4 developers DICE have unleashed an official changelog for all the tweaks and changes that they have made based off the feedback from the official Battlefield 4 beta. So before we get started, a quick note about the gameplay. This is the Battlefield 4 beta on the Xbox 360, and the footage was taken from a mini PTFO event, which was organized by my friend Scott the Mass Nerderer. Some of you guys might have heard of him before. He organizes a bunch of these small mini PTFO oriented or focused Battlefield 4 community events. So he does a lot of these things where he plays with community members and gets other YouTubers to join in as well. Last time I got to join in with him and some other MP First readers and followers of him. So it was a lot of fun, and we just fooled around, and of course played the objective in some Domination on the Xbox 360. So if you guys are interested in joining up with some of his events, be sure to follow at Project PTFO, all one word, on Twitter, and you guys should be able to catch the next time he does one of these community events. So let's get on to some really interesting Battlefield 4 sort of patch notes, you could call it. Not really patch since the game hasn't come out yet, but a changelog of all the tweaks and changes that DICE will be making to the game, to the final build of the game, all based off of the Battlefield 4 beta that took place during the first half of this month on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. Now, the full list is actually pretty big, so what I'm going to do for you guys is link the article in the description below so you can check out the entire list. I'm just going to go over a couple of the, I guess, more the important parts, or just the points that I think are the coolest. So, PC users should be in for a smoother gameplay experience. DICE have been troubleshooting with the frame rate and stuttering issues on the PC version of Battlefield 4. They mentioned in their update that they've released 3 game client updates and a number of server updates, which should hopefully smooth out some of these issues, and as well as to get some more information to ensure a smoother launch. Also on the PC, they managed to reduce CPU usage on quad and 6-core processors. Now, a lot of console users commented on the controller scheme or controller layout of Battlefield 4 during the beta, and we're hoping for some better options, or a more of a return to the traditional Battlefield 3 controller layout, which a lot of users have gotten used to. So listening to that feedback, DICE have included a wider range of controller layouts in the final build of the game, including one that is similar, if not exact, to Battlefield 3. So I'm assuming that might mean using the back or select button as a spotting option, or also to bring up the comma rows. So for a funny note, apparently the elevator was launching players into the sky. I didn't know that, nor did I ever run into it, but that's been fixed for the final build of the game. Sadly, there is no mention of adding elevator music, however. So there are also a lot of significant balanced gameplay changes or tweaks spread across both the infantry and vehicles, as well as some of the anti-vehicle weaponry. So let me read off the first one, which to me is actually very important because I believe it is what caused a lot of us to believe that the damage in Battlefield 4 was really high, or that a lot of us were experiencing what we would call instant deaths. So this is what the official Battlefield blog says. They fixed how the player only receives a single local damage sound effect if he or she was the victim of a quick, clean kill. So the sound and camera impact effect had too long of a cooldown between hits. This should improve the responsiveness of being killed and taking damage. So, as I suspected, the insta-death could be attributed to a lack of proper hit notification. So, and as DICE has pointed out here, basically it would sound like you're only being hit one time when really you're being hit multiple times, but really quickly. Apparently the system just couldn't catch up or sort of portray the amount of times you've been hit quickly enough. So that will be fixed, and it should hopefully get rid of that feeling that the damage is too high or that you die too quickly in the game. So I'm really happy for this one because I noticed it a lot and it did bug me. So yeah, I'm glad for this tweak. So there are a couple specific weapon tweaks which you guys can look up. They're not too important to go over. They did change the distance at which you can throw portable ammo and med packs, as well as they've made the ammo packs so that they now reload 2 magazines of bullets instantly and up to a total of 4 magazines per pack over time. They do not, of course, reload things like grenades and RPGs and other explosive devices. This one I'm pretty happy about. They increased revive time from 7 seconds to 10 seconds, and I did feel it was a little bit short in the Battlefield 4 beta, so I'm happy for that extra 3 seconds. That'll work nicely, I think. So there are a couple important vehicle changes as well. One of them being the fact that the coaxial LMG has been somewhat buffed. They've increased the accuracy of sustained fire. I know a lot of people were complaining that it was underpowered or too weak, and it looks like that might have been attributed to a bad accuracy of that weapon. So that has been increased. Hopefully it will feel more powerful in the actual game. They fixed an issue where the main tank gun didn't correctly hit the center of the crosshairs at all times. So I heard a lot of people notice that one as well. And there are now multiple controller layouts for controlling vehicles, and this kind of goes back to the controller tweaks they've made for the console. But also on the PC, they've now added a few more options to the way that you can control vehicles, because as you know, they did change it quite a bit for Battlefield 4, so that should give people a little bit more freedom, hopefully, to play the way they want to. So, a huge important one, they've tweaked the RPG-7 and the SMA so that now you could fire it any direction you want, and no matter what, it will always one-hit kill a vehicle, an enemy vehicle. So, yeah, you can pretty much no, I'm totally kidding. They've tweaked it so that you could no longer lock on to laser-designated targets with the RPG or SMA. In DICE's words, it was inauthentic and not balanced, so there you go. And lastly, they've increased the responsiveness of the score log, which I already thought was a big improvement over Battlefield 3. And they've also tweaked aim assist on consoles, so it's a little bit more consistent throughout all ranges. Well, in all, I'm pretty optimistic about a lot of the changes DICE has made to Battlefield 4 since the beta, and I'm pretty optimistic about the game's launch. There are a few points they didn't mention, which were a couple points I talked about during my impressions video of the beta, but sort of as I suspected, they have more to do with the sort of balance or design choices of the maps, and not something that can just kind of be tweaked in a patch or something like that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's mostly to do with roof campers and the way sort of the way verticality is sort of designed in Battlefield 4, at least in the taste we've gotten of Battlefield 4. So, you know, who knows what they're going to be doing about that, or if they even will. Anyways, to catch the full list of changes, be sure to hit up the article below. That does it for today's update. Again, remember to follow Project PTFO, and keep your sights on MP first. Until next time.